It's you. It's you. I know you want to blame it on other people, because I did too. I know you want to blame it on Trump. I know you want to blame it on the job market. I know you want to blame it on everything else, but it's you. Because it was me. I was afraid to build the life of my dreams also. I delayed it. I messed around. And nothing changed for a very long time until I was willing to change it. So in this video, I'm going to show you the 10 things that you can do right now to change your life or to build the life that you want, because right now you're in your own way. And I want to help you because I've been in my own way. Let's talk about it. So I wrote down some notes because I wanted to make sure that I don't miss anything. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. The first thing that you want to do if you're trying to build the life that you want, but you're afraid for whatever reason, I want to show you how I made $2,200 while I was on this ATV in Mexico a few days ago. Tap the school link in the bio and I'll see you there. The first thing you want to do is acknowledge the fear and don't deny it. You know, when I was in a situation and I wanted to change my life, I did not want to admit that I was afraid. I didn't want to admit that I was the person holding myself back, because if I did that, then I would have to face that and I would have to deal with that. And the one thing that I ran from for a very, very, very long time is working on how I think, working on how I perceive things, work on how I talk to people, how I interact with people. These are all the things that kept me in the same place financially, spiritually, mentally. And it was difficult to eliminate. It was difficult to get away, right? Here I am trying to build the life of my dreams. And when it came time to opportunities, I didn't want to take action. I didn't want to invest in myself. I had all of these reasons and all of these things in the way. It was me. So the first thing I had to do was I had to acknowledge the fear and not deny it. I had to acknowledge I am afraid. I was afraid. And that's the first thing you have to do. You have to acknowledge that, because if you don't, you're going to look up 10 years later and still be in the same place. Next, here's a great one. I had to define what I actually want. You see, sometimes you walk around and live and you think you want certain things because you see other people have them and you feel that, oh, if I had that, this is what I would do. But sometimes the things you think you want is not even the things you think you want. Most people walk around saying, I want to be rich. I want to be wealthy. You give some people $2 million in 2025, they'll be broke by 2027. Because it's the mindset. Why do you think lottery ticket winners win the lottery and they're broke in 2 to 3 years? Regardless of how much money they won, right? You have to know what you want. And here's the thing. You got to be crystal clear about what you want. You see, I'm crystal clear about what I want. It took some time to get clear about what I want. I spent many years talking about, oh man, I want a Bentley, I want all of these things. And as I started to work towards it, I started to realize, like, you know what? None of that stuff really matters. None of that stuff really matters. You're going to get the Bentley, you're going to get the home. And I'm not saying you're wrong for not wanting more. We all want more. But once you get the things, you're going to want more. So the things shouldn't be what we're after anyway. Here's what you really want. You want the feeling of having the things that you want. And if that's what you want, then why should we stress ourselves out going after all of the mansion, going after the Bentley, going after the G-Wagon, going after all of these things when that's not even what we want? We want the feeling of being secure. We want the feeling of having enough. We want the feeling of having more than enough. You can have that right now. You don't have to wait until your life changes, but you have to know crystal clear what you want. Next. Start with small, low-risk actions. See, a lot of people don't take any action at all. A lot of people are, and look, this is something that I just recently learned. There are Three things that have to be aligned before you can get your dreams, right? The spiritual, the mental, and the physical. There are some people that take action, take action, take action. That was me. I was operating from the spirit, from the physical plane. Taking action, taking action, taking action, taking action. Never getting the result that I wanted. Then there's some people that think about what they want all day, but they don't do anything about it. They just sit back and they think and they think and they think and they think. Nothing changes. Then there are some people that just pray all day, all night for what they want, and they don't get it. And they sit back and they pray and they pray and they pray. Most of the times people don't get what they pray for because they don't believe that they can get it anyway. But that's another video. So your mental, spiritual, and physical has to be aligned. And the way that it goes is your mental has to be right first. Your spiritual has to be locked in with your mental so you can take the right action that can move the needle and take you to where it is that you want to be. But that's for another video, you know. But you got to start with some type of action. Changing your life requires action. You're not going to be able to change your life without taking action. You know, next, reframe failure as feedback. Now, this is a big one. You know, a lot of people try one thing and they fail and that's it. They're never trying again. But yet they're stuck in a life or in a situation that they hate. Failure is feedback. Failure lets you know what not to do the same way ever again. And that's with anything in life, right? You have a failed relationship with a certain person. You now know not to go into another relationship with that type of person. Failure is feedback. Use it as feedback. Don't use it as, you know, the truth. Don't tell yourself, oh, well, I failed and now I can't do. Don't tell yourself that type of stuff because it's not true. It's not true. Next. Surround yourself with proof it's possible. Ooh, that's a big one. That's a big one. Surround yourself with proof that it's possible. Now, here's the thing. If you're hanging out with Earl and Reggie and Joe Smith and Mike in front of the liquor store, what do you expect? If you're hanging out with a bunch of people that gather up and talk about how high prices are, what do you expect? If you're hanging around people in your family that don't want anything, they failed and they don't want you to even try because they didn't try. What do you expect? You have to surround yourself with proof that it's possible. Whatever it is that you want. If you can't find people that's doing exactly what you want to do, you can start to, you know, like one thing that I've recently started doing, I went and joined a golf club. I paid the money and I joined the golf club. Why? Because I want to be around people that think that way. I don't want to just be around people that just think about working a 9-to-5 job and that's it. They die and and that's it. I don't want to be around those type of people. You know? So surround yourself with proof that it's possible. Find other people that's doing the same thing. Find and study people online that you may not ever get to talk to, but you're able to study and adapt. Because you need proof that it's possible. Next, detach from needing approval. Whew, that's another big one. A lot of you need approval from other people. All you need is yourself. All you need is yourself. Now, I can tell you something really deep right now, but it's going to go over a lot of people's heads, so I won't even waste the time. But all you need is yourself. And once you realize that, your life can really, really change very, very quickly. You don't need approval from anybody. Anybody. I used to do it too. Next, build courage through consistency. A lot of people try things and then they stop. Build that courage through being consistent at something. You got to take a step towards the life that you want. Or if you don't, then it's just going to always be the life that you want. Next, visualize your future self daily. Now, this is something that I've been doing for a while, like literally visualizing myself in the exact life that I want, right? You know, see yourself already living the life. This literally tricks your brain into normalizing success instead of fearing it. If you're not doing this, think about this. If you're not visualizing what your life will be like, then you're only looking at what your life is like now. That makes you think a certain way, which makes you feel a certain way, which makes you not take action. And that action or lack of taking action leads to the result or the reality that you're living. Visualize yourself, man. You can go to YouTube, type in theta or alpha meditations and start off 5 minutes. Just visualize 5 minutes of what your life would be like if you lived exactly the way you want. And then increase later. But it's about what you're focusing on. If you're focusing on being broke, if you're focusing on your life not working out, if you're focusing on how life is not working for you, you're going to get more of what you focus on. So take some time and visualize your success. Next, invest in yourself. This is a big one. A lot of people honestly feel that they're just going to go and watch the perfect YouTube video and life is going to change. I'm not saying it's not possible, but I'm saying that it doesn't happen for the majority of people. You have to invest in yourself. You got to invest in yourself, because if you're not living the life that you want, someone is. Find them, pay them what they charge, and learn exactly how they did it. Period. It's not rocket science. Last but not least, act before you feel ready. You know, there's a lot of people that wait until they feel ready. Act before you feel ready. Don't wait. Act now. Do something today that your future self will thank you for. Act before you're ready. You don't know how things are going to happen, but act before you're ready. That way, you can do what you have to do now to at least, by the time you go to bed at night, you're happy with the action that you took because you did something towards it instead of just sitting back thinking about it and not doing anything. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.